I just like flavor. Hi, I'm Skye, and this week I have decided to challenge myself to cooking Korean food for 5 days straight. Woo! Number one, I am Korean. So how is cooking Korean food for 5 days straight a challenge? Well, here's the thing. I am Korean, but I grew up in Canada. So it's really rare that we eat Korean food every day, especially because I personally am a bit of a princess and I don't like to eat the same kinds of food multiple days in a row. If I eat like Korean food one day, then I want pizza the next, then I want Indian food the next, and then Chinese food the next. I'm that kind of multicultural person. I'm not a fan of eating just Korean food, although my sister and mom are, so they're probably gonna be happier. Number two, I do somewhat enjoy cooking. However, I don't enjoy cooking every day. I've learned to cook Korean food because that's what my mom prefers, and because my mom does not cook because she's very busy and tired by the time she gets home. I have learned to cook to feed myself, my sister, and my mom. So I'm not a pro. I don't know. I'm a very basic home cook. So this is not a how-to video. There are millions of recipes online that are way more reliable. I probably should have looked up some of the translations of Korean ingredients before I started filming because I didn't know what a lot of the ingredients were called in English. So I'll probably just add them in a little comment so that I'm not explaining with the wrong terms. So without further ado, let's go. So today is tteokbokki. So I'm currently boiling some water with a broth packet. What's tashima in English? It's a form of thicker seaweed. So now that that's going, I'm gonna add some carrots and onions. So to make the paste, some sugar. I don't know the exact measurements. Go with my gut. And you mix it. Yeah, I think it tastes right. Just a little more garlic. Just because I like garlic. Good.
Look up from your telescope, take me on this journey home. I don't wanna wait no more.
So this is an uncommon ingredient, but I like to put it in, a stick of cinnamon.
Lay me down behind the moon, tell me you'll be on real soon. I don't wanna wait no more.
Looks kind of funky, but looks like that. Close the lid and then we wait. So next is the 된장찌개. I already put a stock packet in there. So it basically has, makes my life easier. I think my aunt sent me these from Korea. So the water for the 된장찌개 is slowly starting to boil, and I would wait a little longer usually, but I have a class in 15 minutes, so I'm just gonna add all the ingredients right now.
We could be dancing in the stars, we could be floating on.
된장찌개, you need 된장. So I removed the broth packet. I already put in a pepper, but I'm gonna add dried red pepper flakes. I might regret that. And the last two things that are going in are some tofu and mushrooms. The suyuk and the 된장찌개 are boiling. Off to our last main ingredient. So my sister was nice enough to chop this up for me. We don't have the proper blade for this cutter, so she had to hand cut most of it. This is a daikon, where I'm gonna add half an onion and some green onions to there, and then I'll season it. and it's the perfect pairing with the suyu or posam, whatever you want to call it. So first, garlic. I should have probably did garlic last time. Stupid. Pepper flakes, sea salt, sugar, essence of anchovy. A lot of that. And add some meshi, which is a sweetener.
Don't really matter where we stay, cause space makes me sad. Cause space makes me sad.
So my camera doesn't want to autofocus, so I'm gonna have to do it like this on the floor. Today's menu is 해물파전, which is basically like a Korean seafood pancake, and 두부김치, which is pork and kimchi stir fry that you eat with 두부, which is tofu. Here we go. I'm gonna start with the 해물파전. So these are all the veggies so far, and now I'm gonna add the seafood. 해물파전 to have a lot of seafood, and I realized today that I didn't have that much seafood, so I'm gonna try to just use a lot of shrimp instead. So we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. So the shrimp and the seafood mix that I had. The mussels. So the mixture is ready, so I'm gonna add buchimgaru, which is this Korean pancake mix, but if you don't have any, you could totally just use regular flour and add some salt. It's just because this is pre-seasoned. I never know how much I have to put. I'm just gonna add, let's say, I don't know, this much. And then water. As you can see, there's clearly not enough pancake batter, so let me just put some more. I forgot my final ingredient, so I also add some cavi, like fish eggs, 날치알. This is, again, not traditional, but I just like the flavor it adds. This is the final result, and I will wait till my mom gets home before I start to cook it. So for the tteokbokki, first I'll take some tofu in a pan and fill it up. Technically you could add the tofu to the water after it's boiling, but I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna do this. Oh my god, it's so heavy. Oh my god. And then onto the fire it goes. I'm gonna put some pork in first. I cut them into smaller slices with some scissors because I was like, it's too fat. So it's almost ready, so let me just add some sesame oil and some sugar. The tofu is almost done boiling as well. This is canola oil. You have to make sure you put a decent amount, and I added a little bit just to check if the oil was ready. So here we go. Trying to make it as flat as possible. Some places make them thick, like in a restaurant, and I kind of just hope for the best. Epic fail. Attempt 1. Fail.
못하는 사람이 있어야?
평범한 사람. I'm going in with double. 못하겠어! I don't think that's gonna work. Retreat. Come on. Oh, no. Fail 2. My last attempt. Yes! So I had to make it smaller because I kept failing. So I finally did it. I did it. I did it. So my tiny mini pancake will go on top of this mountain of pancake pieces. Still tastes great. Just looks kind of sad. So today I'm going to make some banchan, which are Korean side dishes. Pretty much a staple in most Korean households. We just don't make them that often because we're all busy or don't cook. Today I thought I'd just make some quick and easy 5 banchan. So the first banchan is 콩나물 무침, which are bean sprout. And then I have some boiling water. And in they go. I probably dropped like a million. That's great. So I finished boiling. Boiling is a big word because I only leave it there for like maybe 2 minutes in the hot water, and that's usually enough to cook them, because if you leave them for too long, it'll lose the crunch and just get soggy, which you don't want. So the next banchan is maneuljeong. Maneuljeongs are basically the sprouts that come out of garlic. The garlic is a root, and these are what sprouts above. I'm in hot water for about 15-20 seconds, and then I rinse them in cold water again, and in they go.
My fault that it's over. Wish I played it different. I didn't know.
And as with all Korean banchan, the final touch is sesame seeds.
Wish I paid attention.
These are pickled radishes. I mean, they come like this actually. Like, I just cut them in half. I'm gonna just cut them into slices and we can season them.
I should have known. You're probably with.
So I finished cutting the tanmuji, so we can get started.
You're probably with your friends, dancing on tabletops. Hands in his hair already.
So the fourth dish I'm making is 어묵 볶음, which is fish cakes. And I also made the marinade, well, not the marinade, what I'm going to pour on top of it, the sauce. So let's go cook the odeng.
Already saying that you forgot.
And the sauce.
I just don't wanna know who you give your loving to. You'll end up leaving here.
The last banchan I'm making is soseji 볶음, which is probably the most familiar looking items out of everything I've cooked today. So I've just used these laflar sausages, which are like the cheapy sausages you'll see in like steamy hot dogs.
I just don't wanna know.
Almost fully cooked, so I'm gonna start adding the main ingredient, which is ketchup. And I also like it a little with a kick, so I'm gonna add some sriracha. And just to give it a little more sweetness and sweetener.
You be drinking way past 2, lights out and it's not me you're loving.
And that's the final look. So today is bibimbap, and I realize I've never shown how I make rice, so I'm just gonna quickly show you how I do that. How do I show me doing this? So this is around 3 cups of rice. I've already washed it, and when you have a rice cooker, it's really easy because all you have to do is like match number to the number of cups of rice. That's it. You wait. I have some ground beef here. And this is why we haven't been eating beef in the past few months. It's this little piece of beef was $5.73. Like, what the hell? Like, this is my hand. It's the size of my hand. I'll show you how I make the beef. Pretty much gonna be like a bulgogi style marinade. So I have some carrots that were nicely cut up by my sister because I suck with a knife. Last thing I'm going to quickly make are some cucumbers. I said the cucumbers would be the last thing, but I forgot that all bibimbap need a fried egg. So that's what I'm making right now. And the perfect fried egg is when the bottom is crispy, but the yellow, like the yolk, is not cooked through. So this is mine and my sister's. I screwed up her egg. My mom is coming a little later. I have the chogochujang and This is the final look after you mix it up, and now I have to eat so that I can start my class. Bye! So this was a learning experience. I didn't realize how hard it was to film everything by myself while cooking. I hope this was somewhat entertaining because I had no idea what I was doing. No freaking idea. While watching the footage, I think it's possible to assume that Korean food can look unhealthy. By the way, I did it because I put a lot of sugar, salt in pretty much everything. But I do want to reiterate that it's a lot of the things are like side dishes or things eaten with the main dishes as well as rice. So it's not like we consumed all of that salt and sugar at once. So I don't think that Korean food is unhealthy by any means. I don't want people to assume that either. It might just be me that overseasons everything. I just like flavor. What I also realized is that we do need to buy plates. Like all three of us are super clumsy, so we break things a lot. So we've decided not to care as much when we break things. And what has happened is now we have an accumulation of random plate sets that don't match. I think we should buy new plates. So if ever this YouTube channel makes me any money, I will buy plates. Thanks for watching. Bye.